Well, I'm getting started. I'm just leaving our Glacier Haven campground and heading towards East Glacier and then on towards Cut Bank, Montana. Looks like it's a pretty day so far. Something I've really enjoyed on this trip is several times we've stayed close to train tracks, and last night, for example, I thought we were only probably 100 yards away from this train track right here, and trains were going by it during the day a lot, even in the night. And to me, there's something kind of soothing about that noise. Probably a lot of people hate it, but I like it. It's never a good sign when the windmills are spinning fast in the same direction that you're going. I shouldn't complain, but I will. I'm coming up to the top of the summit, my last summit of a major mountain until I reach Vermont. I think it is Vermont or New Hampshire. And that is an amazing view. That's cool, the Marius Pass in the Continental Divide right here. Well, I made it into East Glacier, and that's a pretty good accomplishment, I guess. I'll find some place to sit down and eat and maybe grab a little extra treat, and then on to Browning, Montana. Looks like a place I can eat my lunch. Right here. Can't beat this. Seems like every day I mess up something filming, and today I messed up the recording of making an apple burrito. Sorry about that, but here you go. This is Daryl, and his bike fell off a rack tipped over. I saw him going down the road, and it wore the handlebar right off it. But it's time for Daryl to look for a new bike. So he'll get a new one, hopefully. That guy that I just showed Daryl in that video just a second ago, I felt really bad for him. I was sitting at that place eating my lunch, and I look across the street, and this van pulled up to the stop sign. It was behind another car, and that back rack that he had it tipped over, and his bicycle was just dragging behind the car. And I yelled at him, and he stopped and went out. He was just so surprised. And when we looked at the handlebar, it had worn the handlebar right off to just a nub. It was a really old bike. He said he'd had it for a long time. Maybe it was time to get a new one. But it had totally ruined that old bike. He said he just came out of the park. I can't imagine how long he had been driving with it like that. I'm also extremely surprised that nobody else pulled alongside of him and told him he was dragging a bike behind his car. Poor guy. But anyway, hopefully Daryl gets a new bike. One last look back at the glaciers. Glad to get those over with. They sure were pretty though. This is amazing to me to have, for the last 12 riding days, to have been in mountains. And nothing but pine trees and trees just everywhere. And then all of a sudden, go from that to this. And then I'll be like this for a long time. I actually like this kind of country though. I think it'd be nice if I would have caught it just a few weeks earlier. It would even be more green than it is right now, but it's still quite pretty. I like the vistas. Just riding through Browning right now. And there won't be a town between here and Cutbank, I don't believe. A couple days ago I talked about the book from called Undaunted Courage about Lewis and Clark expedition, and this monument that's off there in the distance is somewhat near where a place that Lewis and Clark called Camp Disappointment, because they were trying to find, hoping that the Marias River was coming out of the north, but it landed us from the west. It's kind of a beautiful place here. You can see the glaciers off in the distance, Glacier Mountains. Got some cattle there on the horizon. I really like it now. This is such a pretty area. So I'm heading into Cutbank, Montana, probably in about, let's see, 4 miles. Just up the road here a bit. I will have gone 82 miles today, which I'm pretty happy with, given I had to cross up over that last pass, and I also been riding in this headwind. But what a pleasure to get on these plains. I just really enjoyed riding across this, and I wouldn't call it fun, but it's a pleasure. Well, day 12 is in the bag. Made it to Cutbank, Montana. 82 miles. So it was a good day. I just need to find where I'm going. See ya. Bye. Day 12 turned out to be a good day. I made it into Cutbank, Montana, and did 82 miles and about 3,200 vertical feet. So glad I'm on the plains. They're a nice place to be able to ride a bike. See ya. Bye.